feel like I'm living through a movie and I'm not even real. I'm just never okay. I'm always in pain. I just feel like I'm not a person. I feel like a zombie. There's a fog over my vision. This is my life. I am a zombie and that's my life right now.
This was me 2 years ago. I suffered from severe depression. I had cystic acne, which I had never gotten before. I hadn't gotten my period in 2 years. And I just felt like there was no meaning to life. I felt so lost and depressed. And most alarming, I had multiple suicide attempts. And I was very suicidal. And I'm not telling you that so that you can pity me or to trauma dump on you. I am telling you that because I want to spread awareness of what was contributing to all of my mental and physical illnesses and what was slowly killing me for years and what may be killing you too. So, with that being said, I'm Marissa. My channel is dedicated to all things mental health, mental wellness, mental growth. And I am so excited to talk about what I'm going to talk about today because I'm so freaking passionate about it. And I just, like, if you came to me and you asked me for one piece of advice, and I could only give you one piece of advice in 20 minutes and you never see me again, I would give you this. And I would be completely fine and great with that because this is the best piece of advice I could ever give anyone because it is the thing that I feel like helped me so significantly. I would not be in the place I am today if I did not change this in my life. And if I had never known anything about this, I would still be stuck. I would still be depressed and I would still be dying. With that being said, let's get into it. Okay. So, during September of 2023, I visited a holistic doctor in which I explained all of my symptoms to. And prior to this, I had been to so many medical doctors and psychiatric doctors. I felt like it was just endless of getting the same fucking answer. And if you're a woman and you've had physical and mental issues at the same time that don't really have a pinpoint like identity to them, like it's not just like, oh, this is lupus, this is this. If it's kind of like iffy, you don't know what it is, and you've been to the doctor, you've probably been told that it's anxiety, which is the most annoying answer you could ever give someone because I feel like majority of the time it isn't anxiety. Anxiety is actually most likely a symptom of whatever the actual root cause of the issue is. So whatever. I went to a holistic doctor. They ordered me a food allergy test and I believe a hormonal test, but I don't remember what came back with that. I don't think it was anything significant. But the food allergy test came back in around December of 2023. And when it came back with probably over 30 things that I was allergic to, all in which I had been eating in every single meal, every single snack, every single dessert that I ate in a day. Gluten, dairy, soy, garlic, nuts, vegetables, fruits, even healthy things, like it was such like specific things I would have never suspected, but when I look back at it, it makes so much sense. And when I saw this chart of all the things I was allergic to, the first thing I thought was like, how the hell am I going to cut that out? You cannot expect me to cut all of that out because this is literally like, these things are what gives me the little ounce of joy that I have left in life. These things are like my entire freaking diet. Like, how am I supposed to cut all of this out? And I thought that initially when I saw the chart. And then I thought all of the money that my mom spent on this test, all of the years I spent looking for answers and getting literally none. And I just thought about how desperate I was. I was sitting there at the heaviest weight I had ever been, with cystic acne that I had never experienced in my life, a so irregular period that I had just gotten back, but like it was now like going from no period to a period every 2 weeks, which sucked. So it was just like there is no other option. I had a step-to-step guide as to what I could do to potentially heal myself. And right then and there, I decided that I was going to cut out everything. I wasn't just going to limit things or decide to cut out dairy and gluten. I was cutting out everything on that list. And as much as this was a food sensitivity test, it wasn't a severe allergy test. I told myself in my mind, these foods are severe allergies to me, and I cannot have these, or I will die. And I know that seems like very dramatic, but although my throat wasn't going to swell up if I ate them, I wasn't going to break out in hives, and I wasn't going to hyperventilate. I, with time of continuously eating these things, my body would have either failed of me or I would have ended up killing myself. And I truly believe that. And I know that sounds dramatic, but that to me is severe enough to be treated as a severe allergy. And to this day, I have not broken my diet. And now it's been almost 2 years since I've cut all of these things out of my diet. And I have lived depression free since the day I changed my diet. And I know you've heard this before. Like, I know you've heard clean your diet, cut out processed food. I know you've heard that before. But I feel like this goes beyond what society typically tells you to cut out. Because many influencers and many dietitians will tell you and give you a diet that is quite literally one size fits all. But just like clothes, our bodies are not one size fits all. What may work and what may be clean for another person may not be clean for you. I've never once been told by a medical doctor, nor have I a psychiatrist, that I should get a food sensitivity test. And it's so crazy to me that something so simple has never been once considered by a professional, because it is quite literally the one significant thing in my life that I've ever done that has completely changed my life. And like I said earlier, if I could give you one thing to change, one piece of advice, go get a test. If it's not available to you, if you for whatever reason can't get it, you still have the freedom to do a trial and error. Like, you can cut out dairy and gluten for 1 week, see how that feels. And if that doesn't work, you have the free will to dig deeper. It may be the spices that you're putting in your, I don't know, your baked goods. It could be anything. So it really is up to you. Now that I have the knowledge of all of my allergies, it has made it so blatantly obvious that I'm allergic to these things, because I know I went through 17 years of my life without knowing these things, and I would have never suspected it. But if I look back, bananas made my stomach hurt, eggs made my stomach hurt. For as like I remember these things making my stomach hurt when I was like 6. So now that I know, it's like, whoa, this has been affecting me all of my life. And I know cutting out things may seem hard, it may seem impossible, but if you're living with depression, your life either ends up two ways. You live a long, unhappy life, or you live a short, unhappy life because you ended it too soon. And I know that sounds very like blunt, but that to me is enough reason to try everything under the sun to get you to the place that you want to be. If you are not changing, you are choosing it. And if you are choosing it, what can I say? Stop being stubborn with the choices that are keeping you unhappy. You cannot control the circumstances that happen in your life, the way that others treat you, the lemons that God gives you. You cannot control it, but you can control your actions. Many of us have this limiting belief that we will try anything, but we will not stop doing anything. You know, you want to add all these beneficial things to your life, but the second that you have to cut something out, you say no. It's too hard. Because you cannot truly start incorporating good habits into your life without detaching from the old ones, from the bad ones. Okay, so say you've got this pyramid. I wish I had a whiteboard, but I don't. So you've got this pyramid. And let's call this the pyramid of growth. So you have this pyramid, and you've got this belief that you don't want to remove the bad things from your life because that's too hard. You don't want to do that, but you want to improve your life. So you start incorporating all these great habits. You start walking in the morning. You start getting vitamin D. You start drinking a gallon of water. And you're building this pyramid, and all of these things are great. These things are great, but you still have this foundation. You still have this foundation of bad habits underneath this pyramid that you're building. So you have the bad diet, you have the smoking, you have the bad sleep schedule. You're just growing this pyramid on this bad foundation. You're growing it, it's great. But then your pyramid starts to get rocky. It starts to rock side to side, and then it falls because you had a shitty foundation. And now all of this success that you've built for yourself has literally gone to shit because you cannot stabilize on top of bad habits. You cannot stabilize on top of a bad foundation. Where opposed to if you had just cut out all this negativity, you would have had a clear, stabilized foundation to now build your success onto. You know, just like they say that you can't stay in the same environment that made you sick, you also cannot stay making the same actions that make you sick. So start cutting out the processed shit. Stop consuming the artificial sweeteners, even the sugar-free ones that I know keep you in your calorie deficit. Stop listening to what others say is good for your own body. Stop listening to what your favorite influencer is telling you is great for their body, what your dietitian is telling you worked for them. Maybe not your dietitian, because they might actually have some like knowledge on that. But like, stop listening to what your gym bro boyfriend works for him, because it most likely will not work for you. So figure out what works for your body and what isn't working for your body. Most importantly, what isn't working for your body. And a lot of you may actually be thinking, if you can't eat all those things, you must have a miserable and bad life, which I've actually been told before, which is crazy. But I can tell you 100% coming from my heart, I fucking love eating cucumbers and whole foods. Simple and plain. I don't need sauces. I'm good with my salt and pepper, and I am happy with it. I am fine when I go to birthday parties and I see people eating cake and I see people eating donuts from the donut shop, and I go to pizza places with people and I can only eat the salads. Okay? I am completely freaking fine with it because I know that the pain of eating it is 100 times worse than not getting the 5-second satisfaction of a taste in my mouth. Like, what is that? Like, do you think that's killing me? Not getting a taste in my mouth? No, and it won't kill you either. Like, I'm almost trying to talk to my past self here because I thought the exact same thing. Take this from someone who literally ate freaking McDonald's ice cream at 5 a.m. in the morning, Carl's Jr. burgers at 9 a.m., Big Macs for lunch and dinner. Take that from someone who literally has, junk food has been their diet for all of their life. And vegetables and eating fruit as dessert was nowhere to be seen in my life, okay? So I've been there. I've done that. I've been addicted to the things that they want you to be addicted to. And I can tell you that I would choose this life and this diet every single time over that one. As long as I'm getting the actual nutrition I need and the the good amount of fats, proteins, natural sugars, carbs in my diet, I am fine. I am great. I am healthy. I do not despise the meals that I eat. I do not need to cover my food in all these toppings and dressings to enjoy eating them. I simply enjoy eating a salad that is covered in lemon, salt, and pepper. And I know that sounds like really depressing. I would choose something else typically over than just eating that. I would probably choose a steak because steak is going to be good whether it has dressings or not. But I can still eat that stuff because food is not meant to be a source of entertainment. It's not meant to be a source of dopamine. It is fuel for your body. They don't have to be filled with all of these processed and artificial things to make them good. Because I promise you, once you cut those things out, you simply will not crave those things. You will not crave processed food. You will not crave McDonald's or donuts. Do those things smell good? And yes, do I ask people to smell their food? Yes. And that sounds depressing, but it's really not because our eyes and our senses, like our smell, are a lot more hungrier than our actual stomachs. And our stomachs are most likely going to be a lot more happier with a chicken breast rather than a donut, rather than a burger from McDonald's. Because I promise you, that burger probably isn't making your stomach happy. If it is, I'd be very surprised. It might be making your taste buds happy, but it is not making your stomach happy. So I'm not even like trying to like make you feel like crap for eating that shit because it is meant to be addicting. You're meant to be addicted to it. You are meant to feel that way. And with knowing that, it is your job to get out of that. Because I promise you, you're going to be better without it. I can promise you that. And I can also promise you that you can do it and you have the capability of doing that because your body is not surviving off of that. Your body is not surviving off of processed food, off of the things that you're sensitive to. Everyone talks about being addicted to nicotine, to alcohol, to sugar. And yes, you can very much be addicted to those things. It's very mainstream, very widely known. But no one ever talks about that you can be addicted to the gluten in your bagel, the dairy in your Greek yogurt every morning, the soy in the sushi that you love eating. So it can really be anywhere and everywhere in your everyday life. And you really just have to consider what is worth changing. Because I promise you that if you are experiencing a lot of similar symptoms to what I was experiencing, most likely you are experiencing the same root cause. Am I saying that that's going to eliminate everything? No, because I don't know your body. I don't know your body. So I don't know what's going to completely heal you. But I can promise you that this would heal you 30% more. At least. At least. Because I truly do not feel like we should even be eating the gluten and dairy in our country. Because I really do not know someone who like isn't affected by dairy at all. I don't think I know anyone. So that is my opinion on it. That is my experience with it. So take with that what you please. I know what it has significantly done for my life. I have energy to wake up in the morning. I have will to live. I have motivation. I just don't have suicidal thoughts anymore. I don't get depression anymore. And the only time I ever do is when I eat gluten, when I eat dairy. And I'll instantly, within an hour or two, know that I ate something that I wasn't supposed to because I feel unworthy, I feel ugly, I feel inflamed, and I have this voice in my head that tells me that I don't deserve to live. And I don't know if everyone experiences that or if it's literally just something that happens to me, but that is something that will instantly happen when I eat gluten. Cutting out these things literally helped me lose the 10, 15 pounds that I was randomly gaining that I couldn't lose. I felt like I lost so much weight because my face literally wasn't inflamed anymore. Even when I was eating at my lowest, I was still puffy in my face. So it didn't even look like I had lost as much weight as I was losing because I was still like so puffy. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about today. I really feel like this has changed my life. I don't know what I would do if I had never cut these things out. I don't know where I'd be. I really hope that you guys took even just a little bit of ounce of information or knowledge from this video. If you've already knew some things, but you just learned one thing, I am completely and so grateful for that. I just wanted to share what has been my experience the past few years and what just really changed it all. So I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one.